Hey everybody, this is the Charming Philosopher, and we're back for a quick session of Skyrim. I wanted to make this video for a friend of mine who just got this game for a birthday present, and she was running into an issue that a lot of people, including myself, at times run into, where they're not really sure what exactly to do first, or how to really manage life in Skyrim. So that's what we're going to hope to accomplish. We're going to go through a few of the glitches. The chest glitches, some people may take offense to using them. I don't. They were there and they were kept there for a reason, despite the fact that this is a several-year-old game and could have been patched, but nevertheless, they're there and you might as well use them. But right now we are standing at the throat of the world. This is going to be located right here, highest peak in Skyrim. As you can see, Whiterun is just below. So to start, we're going to go to Whiterun and check out these chests. It's impossible to really go through all of the content in a single video. If you've ever played Skyrim, you know it is a massive game, and there's really just a ton of stuff to do and see. We're not really going to focus on the adventure side of it as much as really what to do to get you to the position where you can play it effectively and actually enjoy yourself. The very first thing that you'll want to do, ideally, is learn how to smith.
You're someone who can get things done. I like that.
When you come into Skyrim, this young lady right here will be the best starting point to learn how to start smithing, and as you get better, you're going to be able to develop far greater things. I'm trying to find the skill that deals with it. There we go. So the path that I took, wanted to have the Arcane Blacksmith. This allows you to improve items that have enchantments on them. Otherwise, once you place the enchantment on there, or if it already has one on there, you won't really be able to do anything outside of wear it. So make sure that you put some time into getting this as well. But I took this line mainly because the thing that I was trying to get to is the one that really is kind of on the list of everybody who's played this, which is the Daedric smithing. And even though this is at a higher level, for the longest time, Daedric armor is the one that can actually, as you level it up, it can actually surpass dragon armor, despite the fact that dragon armor, I think, kind of looks a little cooler. But come to these blacksmith forges and you'll see a lot of these different items. Ebony is what precedes the Daedric. Ebony armor is really strong as well, and it's a really good option if you just can't get to that Daedric level yet. But the advice would be get the ability to develop stronger armor before you start going into the main missions and delving into a lot of the caves. But Daedric armor right here, as you can see, requires ebony ingots and Daedra hearts. Daedra hearts can be a little hard to find, but there are a couple areas where you can locate them pretty easily and consistently. For the Daedra hearts here in Whiterun, there are two locations where you can buy them. They're going to be the Alker and this jerk's general store. Those two locations will have them occasionally. You can wait a certain amount of time, try it again, and I guess I had a follower waiting for me. The other Daedra heart is going to be in here. I don't know if I'm going to be able to gain access to it though. I think the lock is... oh no, it's open. Okay. So, the very first thing that you'll want to do when you jump into Skyrim is come join the companions. The companions will give you a bed to rest in, and you'll have free storage and whatnot. So it's a good place to at least have somewhere where you can settle down and store things. Houses can be a little expensive to start, but once this loads, whoa, okay. So this is going to be the bedroom, and this is usually where I store things to start. And we'll see if I have anything in here. Really nothing, just corundum, whatever it's called. The Daedra Heart is going to be in this office right here, and as you can see, they've actually got a Daedra Heart sitting there on a plate. Really hoping that guy's not going to eat it. Alright, so right here, to get this Daedra Heart, make sure that you're crouching, and that little line is just a line. If they see you, it's an eyeball. So make sure it's a line, steal it, and then just make your way back to wherever you're storing this stuff. For now, we'll go ahead and put it in this drawer. This is technically an ingredient. And press X to store it. And then you're done. These guys will have a lot of missions. It's a great way to level up and progress through a side story line. I won't reveal any of that to you guys though. Another benefit though is that these guys will travel with you a lot of times. You could get one of them usually to follow you, and it's a good way to kind of keep a lot of the heat off your back if you're really starting to begin. A lot of the bigger missions are just doing some adventure work. Up here is Dragon's Reach. This is going to be the home of the Jarl. But it's also a place where you can find a good early level wizard, where you can start learning a few of the mage spells. Another interesting fact though, this particular location, if you drop a lot of items here, this lady will usually call the assassins on you, try to kill you for having to clean up all your garbage. This guy right here will sell you spells, things that you can learn. Alright, come on, man. In the way of books, these are going to be the spell tomes that you can learn. I think I know pretty much all of these. To get into the College of Winterhold, you're probably going to need a firebolt. It wouldn't hurt to ask what they want you to do to start, but I think it's always a firebolt. So this is going to be a good way to get one. They also have some enchanting and alchemy labs here, and in these rooms you can usually find a bag of gold if you can steal it effectively. There isn't really much else here. There's a side mission back here. We won't really worry about that, at least as of right now, but it's a Daedra mission. As you're walking, if the guards say, "Wait, I know you," keep walking, don't engage them. It means that they know you've committed a crime, and if you engage them, anything that you've stolen that is still on your person will be taken from you. So just make sure that you follow that guideline. Do not engage the guards if they say they know you. Sometimes if you're a member of the Thieves Guild, or if you're the special Whiterun guy, I forgot what the name is, but if you're the special Whiterun guy, sometimes you can get away with smaller crimes, but again, best not to play with it, especially if you like to get your hands on other people's stuff. So right here, right here you will find the first of our glitches. This is a really good way to really get what you need to start out effectively, and it can be a pain in the neck trying to get through though. So practice makes perfect, and second try did it. Alright, so let me go ahead and run all the way through this. We are technically outside of the castle, however, it's really outside of the map. If you go any further, I think it takes you right back into the castle. So just stay along this mountain line, and you'll get everything that you need from here. So we're gonna keep walking. You'll see a few little dips or valleys between boulders, and it'll take a minute or two to go through, get where we need to go. As you can see, Dragon's Reach is up there. We're getting closer to where we want to go. One of the glitches in the, I think it's the Blue Palace, if I'm not mistaken, there's a wizard's chest underneath where the king would normally sit. I can't really get to that one effectively. There's some people who can, and there are greater videos than this to show you how to do that, but it's pretty difficult, and a lot of it is guesswork unless you've done it multiple times. I haven't been able to do it successfully, so I just kind of leave it alone, or show people how to run through walls when they come over. But as you can see, Dragon's Reach, we're really on the if you're looking at it head on, we're on the right side of it. This is where the companions are, and over there is the forge that sits just above the companions. This looks like you could fall through it and die. You won't. Just walk across it, come up here, and you'll just glitch through the rock. As you can see, the chest is right there. So this is ridiculously easy to get to, and it's very forgiving. So as you start walking forward, just walk, and you can search the chest. The content of this chest is going to be based on what level you are. So the higher level you are, the better the stuff is going to be. And it's definitely worth, the higher the level of smithing you are, the better the level is going to be. It may, you know what, I don't even know what I'm talking about. You got to be higher in some level. Once you get to that point, you'll get better stuff in here. And that's pretty much true of all of the secret chests. So after you get what you need, go ahead and come through these stairs, and now you're back out. And you could sell it back to the companion's blacksmith. Once you do that, if you do that glitch again, you can get some portion of your money back. I haven't really paid attention to whether or not it's the whole amount, but you can get some portion of it back, and it's worthwhile. Again, it's a glitch. Technically, it's cheating. If you have some ethical issue with that, play however you wish. But this is a really good way to get a really good start. And take all the ingots that you can, take all the leather that you can, any hides that you find, come over here, strip the hides down to leather, and then come over here and continue to make iron daggers or hide helmets, whatever the case may be, until you continue to level up. The other chests are going to be a little bit further away, and wait for this guy to load. So there are two ways to get to this next chest. If you haven't been to Markarth before, you have the option of using the carriage, which is over here. And whether or not you've been to the location before means nothing. This guy, when you talk to him,
Where do you want to go?
he'll give you the option to go to any of the locations around the map, any of the major locations really, at a price. So if you just want to kind of cheat the system a little bit and lose out on the adventure, go that route. If you're at a beginning level though, and you want to do these exploits, then this is going to be a really good option. Some of these areas could be a little dangerous, especially if you decided to do the dragon mission. The dragon mission, or at least the first portion of the dragon mission, is really going to make this really the whole map quite a bit more dangerous, at least for a little while. After a while, though, the dragons kind of become a nuisance more than anything else. But what we'll do is we'll take a little bit of an adventure and I'm going to show you the layout. Markarth really should be the second place that you go to if you're going to be exploiting this this chest glitch. Really just follow this path. For this portion of the gameplay, I'm gonna fall silent. We'll just watch this together. One note though, in this particular game, I have not actually done the, I've not begun the Dragonborn missions quite yet. So, as you can see, skies are empty. This is a good way to start because, of course, you don't have that constant threat of a dragon trying to hunt you down, but you can make it a little bit more quiet. It has its pluses and minuses. Occasionally, though, you'll get random events right at about here. We'll probably be getting one soon. Yeah, here he is.
What's a milk drinker like you doing out here? Go. Why? What are you gonna do? Cry? I don't have to take that from you. Never should have come here. It's nothing.
So, this guy looked like he had ebony armor on. Yeah, that's what it was. So, I don't really need any of this. Additionally, if you need, if you see any healing potions, get them. The Magicka and the Stamina potions, some people may find a use for them. I haven't in the probably 500 or 600 hours that I've played this game, but the healing potions have been immensely useful and would definitely recommend using them and getting them at any chance you get. So that fox has health down. Somewhere along this area is a place called Bloated Man's Grotto. I think it's up there. At any rate, it's a good location to get a higher level sword without really having to put too much effort into smithing it. It's a little dangerous. There are spriggans and bears and whatnot in there. So bring a lot of health potions. Make sure that you have a good weapon, some strong armor. After a while, though, it becomes useless. It's either you get it too early to where you don't really have a steady supply of spirit gems or soul gems, whatever they're called, or you get to the point to where you don't really need it anymore. You've already gotten higher level equipment, and at that point you may be able to sell it for a nice price. These guys are one of the reasons why it's not best to come out this way, unless you have some strong armor and a good weapon. They're almost impossible to detect audibly until they're right up on you. Occasionally you'll see them, but as you can see, this is pretty thick, hard to pinpoint any possible enemies. Looks like a horse. Yeah. Alright, so we have a frostbite spider here. Usually the giant frostbite spiders will have a group of lower level spiders with them, but looks like we're in the clear. One thing that really sets this game apart, though, are the random events. As you're walking through Skyrim, if, say, you have a bounty, I found myself really getting attacked every time I walked into Markarth during one of my earlier characters. And as I was walking around this area, ended up getting caught up by a bounty hunter who was looking to collect. Additionally, oh, we got a wolf up here. I guess he didn't want none. Oh, I stand corrected. The NPCs of this game will also contact the assassins to really try to kill you for really trivial things. As I stated before, when I dropped probably 200 pounds of armor and whatnot on that lady's floor, she contacted them and found that note on one of the fallen assassins that tried to get me. You'll also see that people are contacting assassins if you steal anything and they've caught you. So just be conscious of that. At lower levels, the assassins can be a little much to take on, so being on your best behavior is a good idea, at least for that time. And we've got...
This doesn't concern you.
We don't like the Thalmor, so... That was a close one. So if you get a little carried away, those things come in handy.
We'll show those faithless dogs who this land belongs to.
Good luck and Godspeed. Alright, so we're getting closer. You'll see these shrines occasionally. These will add, well, actually, not this one. Oh, there it is. So, I'm not quite sure what this one does, but you'll see these shrines. It'll give you extra boosts depending on what kind of shrine it is. You could probably find guides online telling you exactly what they do. We won't focus on that too much right now. Markarth is just up here. So you may decide that fast traveling isn't for you. As you start playing this game, you may fall in love with just what? Where are you? Oh.
That's close enough. Now
You may come along this path a dozen times, and each time will be different, and it's kind of what makes this game really fun. Everything is really... It may seem like the same old, but really, I mean, the experiences are random. They're new. Sometimes you may run into vampires like we did before. It's fitting because it's nighttime. Other times you may run into trolls. You may see bounty hunters, assassins. You may just see someone who's trying to get your stuff. A lot of different experiences that can just pop up in this game. And I fear I may have lost my way. Go to the map. Oh. Okay, so it is up here. Not exactly sure why that guy just charged at me. Take a walking companion with us. It's never safe to travel alone. Ah. So there it is. Alright, I'll drop it. So after, what, 20 minutes, we finally arrived at Markarth. Alright, so the second chest, after you get to the entrance of Markarth, if you quick travel, you're gonna end up way over there. So you'll just run down.
You have committed crimes against Skyrim and her people. What say you in your defense?
So the spooky swimming guard just caught me.
Good enough.
We'll go ahead and...
I'll just confiscate.
Don't tell me he took my stuff. Weapons. Okay,
Stolen
well...
goods you carry. Then you're free to go. Come quietly or taste the Jarl's justice.
That's really funny. So with all this water around, it's really, really humid out here. That's why he's swimming. Alright, so before that interruption, we were talking about this chest. This chest over here, again, if you quick travel, you're gonna come from that direction, just run down this hill. It's behind this wall. This is actually where the merchants will actually come up and sell their wares if you have the coin. And it's gonna be in the dirt. Here it is. So, if we're looking at the wall, if you're starting from this side, it's a little more than halfway. I think it's right there. Yep. So as you can see, ton of stuff to choose from, and these pelts are really good. Obviously, when you tear them down, they're going to give you leather. Deer hide is the same way, deer and cow hide. Some of them will give you more leather than others, but take what you can get, and you'll definitely want to get these leather strips and any other leather that you can find. If you find any health potions, again, take it and use them as needed. The poisons actually... poisons really come in handy if you're against a stronger level enemy. Putting these potions on your swords or axes or whatever the case may be is a really good way to kind of even out the score, where you may be quite a bit weaker than the enemy that you're trying to fight. You'll find a lot of armor that will contain enchantments for smithing or archery or something along those lines. If you find any armor that has the attachment attached to it, then you'll want to, if you can carry it, take it. If it's a good enough enchantment, take it to the enchantment table. I usually go to the one in Dragon's Reach in Whiterun and disenchant it so that you can learn the enchantment. That's the way that you'll want to level up that particular skill predominantly. At least to start. As you get more enchantments, from that point you can start enchanting things, but to start using this glitch to get these enchanted items, really good way to get all that taken care of. So, instead of making this a 2-hour long video, we're going to go ahead and start fast traveling to these locations. The next one that we're going to go to, though, is Solitude. The first chest in Solitude, where the merchants again will sit, is the easiest one to get, and it's nowhere near the difficulty of the one underneath the King's Chambers. But once this loads, we'll be outside of Solitude. We can go ahead and get this chest. Or rather, we will be inside of Solitude, after which time we will exit Solitude. Alright, so once you exit Solitude, you're going to run outside of this wall. And then you're going to find a little plateau over here. And the chest that we are looking for is going to be right about here, I think. Go ahead and crouch down. Yep. So, this one took me a little bit to find, even after watching the videos. And as you come up over to this plateau, you're going to see these bushes. There's going to be, there are going to be 3 taller bushes, and then one in the middle that is smaller. It's a smaller one that you'll want to pay attention to, and as you saw before, it's going to be a little bit beyond it. Search chest, and same exact thing. Just make sure that you get whatever it is that you want, and ignore everything else that you don't want. Now these particular chests, they do take some time to refresh. You could try waiting a certain amount of time, but honestly, if all you're doing is just exploiting these glitches for the first several days of playing this game, you're not going to enjoy yourself as much. So while you're waiting, go do some missions and get a little further in the game. The next one that we're going to go to is going to be at a place called Dawnstar. And Dawnstar is right here. It's going to be east of Solitude. Solitude is north of Markarth. Markarth being right here. Markarth, of course, is west of Whiterun. So, anywho, going back to Dawnstar. Alright, Dawnstar, you'll find the merchants over here. For the secret chest, you'll want to run along these buildings as long as you can, then you'll have to walk a little bit. One thing about Dawnstar, though, is if you do kill the first dragon, there's almost always going to be a dragon here, at least from what I've found. There are also vampires, I think, down there in the house, so just be mindful of that and ignore those missions until you can handle them. The chest is going to be to the left of the mine opening. I'm going to go through these 2 rocks. It's going to be right next to this 3rd rock, right there. This chest usually has a ton of stuff in it, like gems and whatnot. Pretty much high value stuff that you may not find in some of the other ones. Get as many of the soul gems that have the title in the parentheses. Those are going to be soul gems that actually have souls in them. And get any lockpicks that you find. Any healing potions will be necessary. Grab any rubies. Alright, so got those out of the way. I'm going to go ahead and start looking at getting the next set of chests. The next set of chests are going to be a little harder to get to. They're going to be in Windhelm, and you actually need a companion that is not just not afraid to steal a little bit. So to start, we're going to fast travel to Riften. You can find companions that will do that stuff for you in other locations. Riften, of course, is more or less a den of thieves. So going to Riften, a really good way to get a companion that will not have the moral quandaries that would prevent them from aiding you. And when you get into Riften, if you haven't been here before, they will probably try to extort money out of you. You may also see a lot of battling in here. You'll see a lot of vampires. You'll see thieves getting killed. A lot of different stuff going on. So, the companion that we're looking for is going to be Mercurio.
Why hire a common with a
Go ahead
master
and
of magic?
hire this guy. Yeah, that's great, man. Come on.
You lead, I'll follow.
I don't have any business with you, so get out of my face. I don't have any business with you, so get out of my face.
Alright, so now that we have the guy that we want, go ahead and go back up to Windhelm.
Oh.
In Windhelm, the chests are going to be over here by the market.
I lost my twin sister a while back. Have you ever lost anyone close?
Alright, so we're going to come here. Let's talk to this guy.
Smile on you, friend.
Have
Don't
him
make me
wait
too
here.
long. I get bored very easily.
And you're going to talk to him again and say, I need you to do something.
All right, what is it? What do you need?
And then you're going to see...
I'll just be here then.
Okay.
Yes? All right, what is it? What do you need?
They say Ulfric Stormcloak murdered the High King. With his voice. Shouted him apart.
Okay, got it.
Alright, so after you tell him to, that you need him to do something, just make him wait somewhere nearby. But you don't want to lose a sec, so don't press anything. Just continue to run. And run. So, what I did... Market's right here. This is going to be the... I think it's the Alchemist, the white file. Run along the side of the white file. And then come up these stairs. The house that we want to go to is this one right here. As you can see, door to the left. You want to go through the wall. You're basically in the house. So after you pierce the wall, you want to kind of strafe to the left. And then all of a sudden, you're outside of the map. So go ahead and run a little bit. So as you come down here, the further down you go, the easier it'll be to get out, or to get in. So now we're underneath Windhelm. And these guys are going to be a little hard to see. It's just right here.
Okay, got it.
As you can see, he's walking over to the chest. And oh, was it just a sack? Ah, anyways.
Okay, got it.
Alright. They usually won't say much after they steal from the chest.
Okay, got it. Okay, got it.
I think that's it. Yeah, so the bottom one is the one, I guess, that they can't get to. I haven't really seen any videos where people have been able to get to that one. Let's see if we can get this one too. Yeah, so I guess there are a couple that they can't reach. And let's see here. A couple of ways of getting out of this. You can fast travel. If you run too far out, it'll usually put you right back into the map, or right back into town. Another option is to come all the way over here. And
I'm a sailor on the North Wind. We're laying over in Windhelm for you.
so now that we're out, we're gonna go meet up with our guy.
Okay, got it. I'll just be here then. Need something? Try not to walk into any spike-filled pits or filthy skeever dens. I am an apprenticed wizard, not a pack mule. Oh, very well, but make it quick.
As you can see, you really look at a killing in items. So we're looking at 3 chests, something like that, that he was able to take hold of, and take what you want, leave whatever you don't on him. This guy is going to be a good way, it's going to be a good assistant down in Blackreach, but one thing that you can do as your smithing gets better, give your companions whatever level of equipment you're able to smith, and suddenly you'll have 2 people walking around with high-level Daedra armor. It's a good way to avoid losing your companions and the stuff that they're carrying, because you've treated them like a pack mule with all the valuable stuff that for some reason you didn't want to store at that time. So these are going to be the primary chests that you can gain access to. There are a number of others in Riften, in the Thieves Guild. There are chests hidden underneath the guild itself, or underneath the guild's tavern rather, but you'll have to do some swimming, and once you steal from them, basically they try to have their way with you. The chest under the Blue Palace requires a the glitched chest. I forget what it is, but it's a chest that you can actually layout in the world and jump onto. It's hard. It's a little hard to acquire, but once you have it, it can be useful. And that might also be the way in which you can get these other 2 chests over here. That's really about it. Again, I wanted to make this for a friend of mine who was having some problems with really getting a good way to start out and accessing these little glitches. But here it is, and thank you for watching.